So what actually happens in a consultation with Dr. Pauc? If you're thinking about engaging him to work with your family, I thought this information could be useful so you know what to expect. So the first thing that happens, his number is on his website. You give him a call, and on that call you kind of discuss whether or not you want to move forward. Then he asked me to email him. I emailed him, and we set up a time for a proper call, part of the first consultation, which is the call, and then he'll either see you over Zoom or in person at his clinic. So the call was long. He asks a lot of questions, which is fantastic. He covers all family histories. He covers the pregnancy, the birth, what kind of diet, how the problems are presenting themselves, what has been, reported by teachers, what has been reported by an educational psychologist, etc., etc. So a really thorough, deep conversation, so you know that he has a full understanding of your child before you begin. Then for us, we went to his clinic in the New Forest because it's not that far from where we live in the United Kingdom. Such a beautiful part of the country, and such a beautiful village that he lives in. I'd forgotten how stunning it was because it's the second time I've been there. They've got wild horses, so we loved seeing loads and loads of horses just on the side of the road. It's amazing. Well worth a trip just for that. But in his clinic, he does a whole host of tests. So he tests convergence, he tests he's got all sorts of color things. He tested her ability to smell different scents, which I wasn't expecting, but I thought, okay, that's really interesting, because maybe if you can't identify scents, that has something to do with the brain's functioning. But he tested all of that. He did some testing on the computer, some of which she scored within the normal range for. He does the stare tests in his clinic so that he can see how she copes with that exercise. And he asked her personally a lot of questions just to see her answer, but also he said it gives him a gauge for how likely the child is to be able to follow the exercises at home. How able are they to focus? How willing are they to try, different things? And he said for us, all indications are positive, so that was great. We have our next appointment in June, which will be 2 months after the first appointment. And yeah, he will redo some of the tests that he did the first time to see what percentage increase, where we're moving more rapidly, where we need to focus more. There's other computer programs. Right now we have only one that he might want to add into what we're doing. But yeah, I'll be really interested to see what his take is on her progress at the second consultation. What I have noticed that's really interesting is when she comes home from school, she can do the stairs test so much better than if she's just woken up or she's just watched TV. Watching TV seems to have a massive deleterious effect on her ability to do the stairs. So I'm going to discuss that with him at our next consultation and see what are his thoughts on that, because I really wasn't expecting that, and it's dramatic. It is dramatic, the difference. She comes home from school, well able to do the stairs, and I'm like, oh, this is fantastic. We can move on to, after you do 3 steps 3 times, the next progression is 3 steps 5 times. And every time I think, okay, yeah, we're doing it, then she'll go watch TV for half an hour, and then it's like she's never done it before in her life. So I'm thinking he's probably going to say that we're going to have to limit the amount of time that she watches TV, because it really does seem to have a negative effect on her, but I don't even know if that's possible. So that will be a big question for our next consultation. But yes, that's just an idea of what to expect if you do decide to work with him. Maybe it would be the same for other neurologists in other parts of the world. But yes, just thought I would share what the process looks like.